They look nice. Did you build them yourself?
Yes. With my bare hands.
You've got bare hands.
That was awful. That's not going in.
Hi guys, I'm Max and this is Sophie and welcome back to our van build.
This week has been a bit of a weird one. We are looking at our vehicle electrics at the back of the van, and then at the front of the van we kind of need to sort out our over cab storage so that we can run more vehicle electrics. It's a bit of a lucky dip this week, so settle in and enjoy.
So today is our first day of actually looking at the electrics and wiring in the van. We're going to start looking at the wiring by looking at the stuff that we are running on the vehicle side. I've got a bit of a plan here, but it's a bit small so you won't see it, and it's also upside down.
What you doing?
So I'm in the process of just wiring up a couple little strobe lights, little amber strobes that we put behind our grille here. We do a lot of work on site for festivals and events, and when we're on site we need to have those on while we're driving around. So rather than just having a beacon that we stick on the top of the roof, which isn't as easy because we can't get up to the roof that easily, we can just flick a switch in the cab and have them in the grill. The grill. I'll put them on for a sec, I'll show you. You get the effect, but then once we turn them off, they're a bit hidden behind the grill so you can't really see them. It's a bit more subtle than just having them slapped on the front here somewhere, is the idea. Aesthetics and all that. What I'm doing is all of the different elements that are going to be powered at the back here on the vehicle side. I'm running all of the cabling to one central point. So that's the two rear light clusters. And we have to add resistors in for the indicators because they're LEDs. It's the amber flashing sight lights. It's the tow bar wiring. It's the fog lights. It's the reversing camera, reversing beeper. I think that's it. So we're running all of that to one central point so we can then work out the wiring, get it all powered up and working properly. So the next step in our vehicle electrics, cabling, powering, running, before we move on to our leisure side, is our rear lighting. So the guys that had this van before us, when they dropped the back and redid all the rear bumper and that kind of setup, bought these lights here, which are mounted here, which we're gonna replace. We're just gonna tidy up the wiring because it was all a bit of a mess. The fog lights stick on the base here, and we need to wiring the number plate lighting, a reversing beeper and reversing camera that all works off the feed for the reversing light. So that's the project for today. So where we're gonna start is by taking the existing looms at the back of the van that we've pulled out and identifying what's what. Go some nice coloured tape, work our way through with the multimeter to work out what cable is for what, and then we can work out how we're going to wire it all together.
So the temperature's warmed up slightly today, so I've been doing some little jobs. I've been filling all the screw holes that we have in our roof. I've also filled along these lines as well. It's a bit cheap filler though, so it's not that smooth, so I'm going to have to sand it down a lot. But yeah, keep going.
So I've got all the original rear lighting wires here. They're gonna, if you ignore all this stuff, they're gonna come through into our garage area around about this point here, because they were just kind of tacked into the bottom of the drop section in our boot quite badly. So that's going to run in here, it's going to run up and over to this point here, at which point it's going to go down on the inside of this corner kind of box unit and out to where these holes are that they made for the lights. I'm running the 7-core cable through there, and they are the ends that I'm now going to connect up to the lighting. I'm going to use some heat shrink solder all-in-one, just like butt joiner pieces for the wires, and then I'm going to pull the excess cable back through and secure them back on to the outside of the van. So there we have all of our crimped and heat shrunk connections, all nice and neat with all the colours matching, which makes me very happy. So now we're going to pull the excess black cable factory into the van and fix these lights in position. Then we need to do the other side as well. It's a new day and we are going to look back at our lighting at the back of our van that we started the other day. And what else do we need to do?
I don't know.
We're also going to look at the reversing camera at the back and the reversing beeper and the tow bar power and get it all wired up and working.
Cool.
Excited?
Not really.
Be fun.
I'm not good at electrics.
You will be by the end of today. What you doing?
I am sanding down some of the holes that we have in our roof cladding, and I'm gonna try and fill the screw holes because we want it to look nice and finished. And while you're doing little one-man electrical stuff, I thought I'd try and find something to be useful.
2 jobs at once.
Yeah, I'm getting covered in dust though. So I'm just filling these holes. Well, I'm sanding them down first. I'm filling these holes so they look like, you see here, all the holes are gone. So I've had to perch up here because I can't reach them. Because it's a long way down into our garage. Like, a really long way down.
2 jobs at once.
This is good.
Go smash through this list.
I've seen the list. So these lights are now all working, and our indicators work and flash at the correct times because Max did a magical thing with some resistors. So, ta-da! No, you need to tell me what it is.
You said just point at it.
Tell me what it is.
We've added these 24 volt, I think they're about 21 watt resistors into our indicator circuits, which kind of pretends that there's a bulb in the circuit and it transfers the power to heat. So that means they flash at the right rate for the flasher relay that's in the front. So we're housing all of those electrical connections in a little IP rated box, just sitting in the back of the van here to keep it all kind of nice and neat and tidy and out of the way. So now that we are all done with the vehicle electrics at the back of the van, we need to look at a few little bits at the front of the van.
But there we hit a bit of a snag because all the vehicle electrics in the front are going to run in a cupboard that doesn't exist yet. So we're going to have to build that first.
We started building the frame for it in December 2020?
Yes, 2020. So
let's have a look at that.
Ready for a flashback? So we've reached a bit of a problem with our over cab storage. Now, it looks pretty gorgeous, but this top section here, this top section here needs a curve on it to push up our ceiling so that it fits properly. So we're gonna have to like add additional pieces in. So that's all fun. This is our rough line to create the curve on our piece of wood. Who knows if this is gonna work?
Not me. I'm gonna be at 33.
Yes.
And 43. I mean, yeah, it's not far off, is it?
Yay. Good circular saw action, Max.
Thank you.
So that didn't fit. So now we need to make another one. Stupid piece of wood. Take 2. How to get a curve out of a straight piece of wood. Basically just don't do what we're doing because we can't get it right. Take 2. That's way better than take 1. So this lovely piece that I painted is now coming off, and we're going to be replacing it with the Wendy Bendy one. So hopefully it will pull the ply up into the ceiling and we'll get a flush ceiling. That's the plan anyway.
Hopefully.
So it still doesn't fit. So now we're going to have to shave off some bits off the top, I guess, to try and get it up in the gap better. So we're going to plane it. So this is it. This is the best we can do. 3 times and we've had enough. It's still got a little bit of a gap at the top. But you know what? I'll stick some rope over it because I cannot be arsed anymore. Overhead storage. It's looking goodish. Bashed around a bit, isn't it?
Don't know what you're talking about. So now we have replaced it. It just needs another quick touch of paint, which the beautiful paint artist
I did 3
assistant.
coats on that other piece that you've suddenly decided isn't good enough.
Maybe you need to paint it better then.
It was nothing to do with the paint. I wasn't going to put a curve in a piece of wood, was I?
You could have painted a curve into the wood.
Shut up. And we're back in the future, in the present. Back to the future.
Back to the future.
And here is our overhead sort of piece that we built ages and ages ago. It's had a few extra adjustments since then. We've had to add in an extra upright section because when we fitted the overhead cupboards, the normal overhead cupboards, we realised they came out further than the original one we put in. So as you can see, they're yet to be painted. But we're going to try and fit this bad boy in so that the electrics at the front of the van could get completed.
Yes, let's get it in.
Yeah, finally! It's been waiting for this moment for like forever.
Making a sound on there. So that's it wedged up in place, just holding itself up for now. We've notched little roots, I'll show you, on the rear side for the cables for the lights that are in these panels, and they're going to be routed up here, out the way and over to fuse boxes and that kind of thing, aren't they?
Yes. These are sagging slightly, so they will actually go
Be
up.
higher.
But
You know
it's
what,
alright.
I've just thought of something else as well.
What?
We were going to ply the bottom of this with like 12mm ply,
Oh yeah,
which
that
is
adds.
going to come down however far as well.
Stop moving your head. I'm trying to get you in
sorry.
shot.
I'm not made to be on camera.
No, you're not.
You are. Just
Okay.
cowardice.
What are you screwing it in with?
Self-tapping.
Oh.
Screws. Low profile, Wi-Fi, self-drilling screws.
Yeah, not self-tapping, self-drilling. There's a difference,
Self-drilling.
apparently.
PH2. And I'm going to try it, and it probably won't go in, and then I'll end up drilling a tiny pilot hole.
So we've put brackets on the end, so we're going to use those to sort of wedge it in.
I'm just going to get them started.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started. So this is the bit where I check outside to see whether or not he's gone through.
It's a bit of metal. Hippie-ry. So now that's attached in and is strong vertically but less so front and back, and these are strong front and back but not vertically. We're going to hold that up and screw that into there
So,
on both sides.
So what's the next step?
Lunch?
Is it lunchtime?
It's 2 minutes past 1.
Oh my god, it's lunchtime. Let's go get some
Lunch.
lunch.
So I'm just adding one of these little 12mm shims on either side that's going to fit on the underside of the over cab shelf, because that's what we're going to create the base of that with. So then we know how far up we need to pull this to line it up with the base of that. So now they're in, I need to go grab Sophie, who's finishing her lunch, to bring our guns to hold that up while I screw it together. Calm down everyone, the muscles arrived.
The guns are here.
It was a bit of an interesting operation, but this is now solid. This is solid at the bottom. We've still got a tiny bit, if I really go for it, of play at the top. But we're going to put a final bracket up there just to take that out. So that's screwed together, bracketed together there. and all supporting itself.
And when the 12mm is officially put on the bottom,
On all of that,
it'll be nice and flush with its carpet.
That'll be
Perfect.
carpeted. That'll line up beautifully. Good job. Needed your guns, that was all. Now what?
There's more space to walk in. Now we need to do the same on this side, I guess.
Do one of them. There. Yeah. Go on then.
Oh.
Use your muscles.
So I was super happy with my new overcab frontage going on until I realised we had to do this to our seat to achieve it.
Seat? You mean step ladder?
But who's going to be the one who has to repaint it all?
Sorry, that's not my department. What do you think?
It's good. Strong.
How strong?
Strong. It's really strong.
Hang off it then.
I can't. You know, I can't.
All that upper body strength though.
The zero body strength that I have.
Good. Well, if it can hold you.
Yeah, there's some lockdown weight on here. We're all good. The next step is to put the side beams in and then the central beam as well, and then it will be plying on the bottom. Ooh, what's that?
That is something that's balancing in there and that I need to attach. Avec brackets.
And why do we have to use brackets?
Because it's at a cross point where there's loads of other screws doing loads of other things, and I don't want to muller all the wood apart.
Yeah, some inconsiderate person put some screws in the bottom.
Brackets, attach that in place, do the side pieces, and then see where we're at.
I love your confidence.
I'm confident. How hard could it be?
So we just had to remind ourselves to hook those electrics over that beam.
Who remembered?
I remembered to hook those electrics over that beam before we started screwing it in. So they're in place. That's why we're doing this, so that when Max wires the rest of the electrics in the front of the vehicle, they're running where they're supposed to run, which is up inside this shelf. Make it nice and neat.
You know what, I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh my god, he's happy with something.
Yeah.
They're not going to come out the other side.
No.
Just checking again.
Next, I think we want to do the backing pieces, which we're going to do in 3.2mm ply. Like we've done the backs on everything else.
We haven't done any of the backs on anything.
The backs on the ceiling pieces, the backs on the whatever. We're going to do back it, screw it in, strip there, not sure about the ends yet, and then we can put the 12mm
onto the bottom.
Piece up onto the bottom.
We have taken measurements for our first piece of 3mm. Does anyone else end up writing on random pieces of wood everywhere? We've got our measurements. We need to go cut some ply.
Nice. That fitted perfectly. So we've just screwed that up into place. It's a nice ceiling to the cupboard. We just need to do the next section, don't we? So I'm just admiring all this beautiful work we did yesterday up on our headliner in our cab area, to put this shelving in and some electrical work as well.
We need to cut this to make the shelf for this, and it's way more complicated than we first thought. Little notches everywhere, huh?
Yes.
Everywhere. Ooh.
So that is it, held in place with some clamps and a post. We need to take a little slightly larger notches out of the front for the cables to go up through on either side, but our notches at the back for our bolts from our door runners, perfect. Things we need to add into this and think about cutting holes for before we carpet it. The biggest thing is our speakers.
Does it fit?
It does.
You happy with it?
Beautiful. You see the second one now. It's a new day, we are back and we are looking at getting this headliner shelf into the van.
Yes, we need to carpet it. And that's about it.
Yeah.
And then you need to do all the electrics.
Another dry fit, carpet it, and then throw it in. Let's go.
These are our speakers. They came out of the van, they're just going straight back in again. We don't have money for a new one. And we've cut our holes and we are gonna be sticking these in that shelf. They're gonna be sort of...
In that shelf?
In this shelf. They could be sort of here when we're driving. So hopefully, the Mercedes Vario is notoriously loud in the cab. So hopefully having these big speakers literally here will be enough so we can hear them. So it didn't fit, obviously. So we need to cut another centimetre-ish off of here. The bit we're struggling with is here in the corner, I'll show you. This bit here. So there's a plastic casing, which is here. This little thing, which is supposed to sit in here. It covers all the wires. Just a trim piece, but it needs to interact with that up here in this corner, and unfortunately it's where all the wires run, so we can't really like bodge it, so more cutting is needed.
It's not a bodge, it's the opposite of a bodge, it's making it fit
No,
perfect.
that's what I said we can't bodge it, so we have to cut it.
I thought we said, you're bodging it again.
We would never bodge.
I'll say it with a straight face.
Us bodging?
That'll fit. Tell you now, that'll fit.
Right, test fit 1,000,000. A nice stanky bit of reclaimed ply. Where did you get this ply from, Mags?
I think it was a skip.
He acquired it.
I took it off a job I was working on where it was excess.
Excess ply is the best kind of ply.
It was going in the bin. So I put
Yeah,
it in the
we
car.
rescued it for free. So our piece of plastic is now in. Finally, it fits around the top of the wood, and the
lines up.
wires will run down inside it. It finally fits, and now we get to carpet it. But I know there's a lot of grey carpet fanatics out there, but that ain't me. So we've got a kind of wheaty colour. I can't actually remember what it was called. I think it was wheat, biscuit, wheaty biscuit.
Oh, it might have been biscuit.
I don't know. But it's kind of like a light, OT kind of a colour. It's hopefully going to be a better match to our colour scheme. And it's been waiting here for months and months and months, but I've not been able to open it yet. So I hope I like it.
Hulk mode.
Oh, they're cold. What do you think? Do you like it?
Yes, nice.
It's warm.
Pretty
colour, isn't it?
neutral and warm.
Yeah. So it is cut to size. We're hoping these big creases disappear when we stretch it out. We need to work quite quickly because we're going to be spraying both of these, letting it go tacky, and then getting onto the sticking down process. So we'll see you on the other side. Wish us luck. It's a little messy. We've never done this before, but we need to see the other side and see what it looks like.
Look at that.
Hey, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed with the circles, they look good. So we're really happy with how it looks. We are gonna now finally fit it in place. And the way we're gonna do that, we wanna hide the screws. So we're gonna make little tiny slits in the carpet. So then when we screw it in, we can sort of pat them back down again and have hidden screws. So it should look really smart. Let's screw it in.
Yeah, boy.
And then when you pull it back over, it hides it. Oh, except you can see that one. Oh no, there you go, look. Hidden, no screws, it's all good.
Now that we've got that beautiful headlining shelf in, I'm going to attach our front window blind and then look at adding in speakers and a few other bits that attach to it. So that is now attached. So instead of like a traditional sun visor, on a Vario it's a kind of roller blind. So let me see if I can show you this. You can pull it down to cover a bit of the windscreen, and the ends will be guided in the trim pieces that go on there once it's done. And then to put it away, you pull on this toggle and it goes. Next I'm going to look at adding in the speakers, which we cut the holes for when we were carpeting the panel. So there's one on either side there. So I'm going to fit them and look at wiring them up now. You can see the holes where the speaker will go. And we've already got a lot of wiring up here that I need to tidy up a bit. So I found all the right size screws. That is on and fixed in place nicely. So we just need to put the grill over the front. And there it is with its grill and everything in place. Now we just need to do the other side. So that is the speakers in. We just need to wire them up and then blast some sound through them and see if they...
Our shelf up there, nice and fixed in. We've got our speakers in there and our blind back up, so it's looking pretty good. And we're going to leave it there for this week. We have run out of time, unfortunately.
But thank you so much for watching, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment or any tips or ideas down below.
We read every single one and we love hearing from all you guys, so thank you to all of those who comment every single week. If you would do us the honour of subscribing, we would be forever grateful. And unfortunately we won't see you next week, and there is reasons for that. Why aren't we not seeing them next week?
We a few different things. We both work in events, and there are talks of things happening in the summer, probably later in the summer. So we have a bit of work we need to do, and also we are doing our leisure vehicle electricness, and it's going to take a little while, and we don't want to bore you with hours and hours of us running cables.
But if you have a particular thing you want to see about our leisure electrics, or something that you've always wanted in an electrical install video, please drop that down below so we can make sure we are giving you exactly what you want and need. So I guess we'll see you in a few weeks. Bye. Bye.